Today we'll be solving a easy level problem that is weighted word mapping. We are given with an array of string words where each string represents a word containing lowercase English letter. You are also given an integer array weights of length 26 where weights of I represent the weight of ith lowercase English letter. The weight of the word is defined as the sum of the weights of its characters. For each word, take its weight modulo 26 and map the result to a lowercase English letter using reverse alphabetical order, that is 0 maps to Z and 1 maps to Y, so on, such that 25 maps to A. Written a string formed by concatenating the mapped characters for all the words in order. So this is our first example. We are given with a word which contains a list, array of string, and then we are given with one more array of integer, which is called the weight, which contains 26 numbers, integer numbers. Okay, these 26 integer numbers are mapped to ABCD characters in the same order. In the sense, 5 is mapped to A, 3 is mapped to B, so on. And we are supposed to find this string by decoding this. So how do we do it is we have to first of all calculate the weight of A, B, C, D, which is the first word given in our word array. And we have to add up all the weight of all these four characters given, and then we have to modulo the answer by 26. The answer what we get, that's 8. Okay, 8 maps to which character that is written, but in the middle you have to do the modular mapping reverse. Okay, so here you see the direct mapping, like 5 maps to A, but then when you check this, when you divide 34 by 26, you get 8, right? That should be reverse mapped. That means A is mapped to 2 at that time. Let's visually analyze how to get the solution. So this is, let's consider this is the word array that we are given with, and this is the weights. Okay, so the first element of the weight is mapped to A, and so on. So our first word is ABC. So we calculate the sum, which is equal to 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is 6. And then we calculate the mod of uh, the sum that we have got. That will be 6 divided by 26. Answer is 6. Now we have to map this back to the character. How do we get that is, in the character, we subtract Z from 6 and get T as our answer. So this is how it works. See, first of all, we map weight, which is the given array, to ABCD in the normal form with these are the index. And in the second, when we calculate the mod answer, we have to look at the reversed mapped characters, where our Z occupies 0th position and Y takes 1. It's just the reverse. Now let's try coding this out. So we'll be using hash map to map our characters with the weight. We'll declare a hash map of character new hash map, and then we'll need to traverse across the characters, that is from A to Z, so that we could store this in our hash map with the values of weight. For char, say C is equal to A and A, and C is less than or equal to, because we have to go till Z as well, and C++. Okay, Then we need to do map dot put character comma weight, that is weight of, say, I. We forgot to declare I. We'll write it out. Let's say int I is equal to 0, and then we need to increment I plus plus, because each time you put the character and its weight, I should increase, right? Then only you'll be moving forward across the weight array. Okay, now we enter the values to map. Now we'll need a string builder so that we could store the string in that as we come across each of the character. String builder ESB is equal to new string builder, and then we will have to traverse through the string array which we are given with, that is word. So for string yes in words, okay, and after that you will have to traverse through each characters. Here characters matters, right? We have to calculate the sum. So char c, that's from yes to char array, which is used to convert the string into character array. Once we are done with this, then we need to calculate the sum. We have to declare sum over here. Int sum is equal to 0, so that when you come across a new word, sum should become 0 again. Okay, and here we'll have to calculate the sum. Sum plus is equal to map.get. This is how you'll get the weight of the character. Then after calculating the sum, we have to calculate mod, which is equal to sum mod 26. Okay, then to append this into the substring, you have to calculate the reverse mapped character, right? That you will be getting like this. Let's say A is equal to, we have to convert ASCII into character, so it's like Z from the end, right? Reverse. So Z minus mod. So this basically happens, this conversion, that is Z minus mod, happens in ASCII, and the character that we have written over here, this is typecasting. So basically whatever the value that we get over here is converted to character. And now we have to append that value into our string builder. Now we got our string answer in string builder, but we are asked to written in the string format. So what we do is written sb.toString. That's all. This is our solution. Oh, caps A over here is extra. And anything else? Weights, it's weights. Yeah. Now talking about the time complexity, we have a total we have across all the words, like the total word characters across all the words, and then building the map, that is we have 26 characters, so we map each and every character in the hash map, right? So the time complexity over there becomes big O of 26, which is constant, and traversing through each character in the word, which is here, each character in the word. That takes time complexity of big O of n, where n is the total number of characters. So overall time complexity becomes big O of n. Now moving on to the space complexity, the hash map, as I told you, it stores 26 characters, 26 characters like keys and values, right? So it's a constant. So space complexity becomes big O of 1. Thank you.